Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back with another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of the Lazarus Planet hardcover. I'll be talking about a little bit of the story, the art, and of course, if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to know how to support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at front of the dust jacket, the spine, the back, and I'll show you a full spread image of the dust jacket. Looks pretty cool. I like this art right here. Front of the book, which is a very creepy looking Batman. The spine, the back, and I'll show you a full spread image of the art, which looks really darn cool. Alright, now let's take a look at what's inside. So what is this book about? So this book takes place between issues 4 and 5 of Batman vs. Robin by Mark Waid. And so the way issue number 4 ends, which I won't say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but the way number 4 ends for Batman vs. Robin is that the son of Devil Naja arrives and causes a volcanic eruption that releases certain clouds. And those exposed to this chemical either get powers, or if they're already superpowers, or if they already have superpowers, then these certain characters get their powers either altered or amplified. Now, the first and last issue in this book continues, or I guess you can say links between Batman and Robin, or Batman vs. Robin, issues 4 and 5. So again, the last and first issue of this book connect that story, or issues between 4 and 5 of Batman vs. Robin. The rest of the book is just short stories during this whole entire event, I guess you can say, aka the Lazarus Planet. And that's what this book is mainly about, or 80% of it's mainly about. It's just short stories of other characters during this volcanic eruption. The other 20%, it's going to be, well, as you can see here, between issues 4 and 5 of Batman vs. Robin. Hopefully that makes sense. And with that said, this book is a mixed bag. And the short stories, some of them are cool and fun. Others are very kind of like, okay, whatever. Don't really care. And so you get a lot of short stories. And I mean a lot. Like some of them are just like 10 pages long. They're really short stories. And you get stories of Huntress, Power Girl, Superman or John Kent, Raven, Question, Firestorm, Wonder Woman, and many more other short stories from the other characters. But the cool thing about this book, then, I'll give it credit for this particular book, is that it does have short stories from other new characters, such as Vigil, Flatline, City Boy, Red Canary. I believe the name is Xanthi, which is cool because it gives you and exposes other new characters. But, this is a big but, some of the stories end with a cliffhanger. This book really feels almost like a marketing book for other stories of the DC Comics. For instance, the Superman one, or John Kent, ends in a way to where it says, oh, if you want to continue to see what happens, make sure you check out Superman John Kent Volume 1. The Aquaman story ends with, if you want to know more what happens with Aquaman, continue with Dawn of DC. If you want to know what happens with the Vigil, continue reading issue 1 of Vigil. So it's a lot of like open-ended stories, cliffhangers, where it's like, really? Come on now. At least finish it. Some of the issues, or short stories I should say, do end, where they have a beginning, middle, end, but they're pretty straightforward. But for the most part, though, a lot of them are just cliffhangers. A lot of them are very much like, almost like I said, almost like a marketing, where this book is mainly just marketing for other books. Like, hey, you like this story, you want to know more about it? Go get this book for, let's say, Power Girl, for instance, or something like that. And that is the gist of this whole entire book. I can't say too much in terms of the first issue and last issue that connects Batman and Robin, issue number 4 and 5, because it's really short, and I don't want to spoil that particular story because it's a really good story. But this book itself, in terms of the short stories, it's really a mixed bag. Same thing with the art. The art, it really does vary. Some of the art's really cool, very colorful, very serious. Others are very cartoony, towards like, whatever, I'm losing interest. The pacing does vary too. Some of it is pretty quick, boom, within like maybe less than 5 minutes, you'll read the whole entire story. Others, it's very dialogue heavy. Paper quality is matte, which is fine for this particular book. Do you need to have prior knowledge? Yes, you do. You definitely want to read Batman vs. Robin, because if you don't, you're going to be lost. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be lost. Especially with the first issue and the last issue, you're going to be like, what the heck? Because the first issue ends, and it's literally, first issue ends, and all these short stories, and then the last issue continues on where the first issue ended, and then the last issue ends with a cliffhanger that leads into Batman vs. Robin, issue number 5. And so, with that said, what do I give this book? Honestly, I give it a thumbs down. It's more like in the middle, but the reason I'm giving it thumbs down, or leaning more to the thumbs down, is because some of the stories, like I said, do end off with a cliffhanger to where it's like, it really feels like they're just marketing or trying to get people to buy the other book or the stories. Which is understandable, they want to make money, and I get it. But I wish if they're going to do something like this, they actually had an ending to it. Like the question does end, which is okay, it's pretty cool. That's a cool story, and I liked it. Because it shows you what happens with the question during this whole entire event. And it does have an ending. But others, it's literally like, for instance, the Vigil. Red Hood is chasing someone. Red Hood meets up with this individual, and the individual escapes Red Hood, and that's it. But if you want to read more about it, make sure you check out Vigil number 1. So it's like, really? Come on, you're going to end it that way? Because it's really cool in seeing new characters, and I actually like that story, but it ends in a way it's like, oh, come on, really? You have to really go out and get this book? Which, again, I understand they're trying to make money, and I get it, but that's what made me lean more to the downside of it, where a thumbs down, because there's some potential here, but it's just lost with short stories, or it ends with a cliffhanger. So once again, what do I give the Lazarus Planet hardcover? I give it a low thumbs down, as mentioned. It's not a horrible book. It's more toward like in the middle, but because of certain stories, actually a lot of the stories end off with a cliffhanger, it gets a thumbs down. Now let's take a look at some of the variant covers. Here we have Poison Ivy, which looks really, really cool. Then we have here, I believe it's Firestorm. I don't know who is this here, but looks cool art. Damian Wayne, Cyborg, really detailed. Look at all that detail. It looks really, really nice. We got the Justice League on there. Well, actually, Batman, John Kent, Cyborg, Poison Ivy. Pretty cool here. Look at the mirror. See that? Pretty cool. This is a really cool story. I like this one. Here we have, shoot, I forgot her name already. Then we have the volcanic eruption, as mentioned. I like how it has an S on it. Pretty clever. Aquaman, Aqualad, and we have like a Doomsday Martian Manhunter. Raven. Black Adam, or White Adam, I believe it's called. Question. Vigil. I'm pretty sure it's Vigil. Red Canary. I forgot who this character was. I think it's called Deadeye, I believe. Red Hood. This is the Vigil. I'm sorry. This is the Vigil. Which, cool concept. I like where they're going with this character. And it ends with the cliffhanger. Of course, Huntress. Doom Patrol. This is the character called Zanthe or something like that. So I like the colorful art. Looks really nice. Devil's Gymnasia. Of course, Batman with the helmet of Fate. Damian. New character as well. Monkey Prince. Ooh, this is very cool art. Look at that. That looks really, really cool. Then you got the girls on here. I like the art. Power Girl, come on. She's got to be in here. And if we have here some of the other colors, or I think it's just a small images of some of the art. You can see that. Alright, and that is that. Let me know what you guys think. Have you read this book? Do you plan on reading this book? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to know how to support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of the Lazarus Planet hardcover, and on to the next one.